We all know the stories of insane last-minute wins, last-minute limbs, and fans going absolutely mental. But what if I told you the weirdest possible circumstance has happened before, where an own goal won a game of football? Let's get into it. So back in the 1994 Caribbean Cup, for some strange reason, they decided that all group games in qualifying had to be won. There could be no draws, it had to go straight to extra time. And obviously there's always been this thing in place called a golden goal, which has recently gone, of course, but that meant that the first team that scored a goal in extra time would win the game. No more debates had, the other team were out. For some weird reason, these people over in the Caribbean, for the qualifying of this tournament, decided, let's make things interesting. This golden goal is harder to score, you know. You've got more pressure on you to get the ball in the net. Let's make it worth 2 goals.
When two become one.
So, in that case, someone will win by 2 goals if they score the golden goal. Normally, that wouldn't matter because that would be in a knockout, of course. But when you put that into a table, it starts to look weird. And the maddest situation played out where it was Barbados versus Grenada. Now, one of the weird things about this whole cup competition is that there were 3 teams in each qualifying group. And we all know how bad that is by some of the videos that have been posted about what could happen in the World Cup and how they could just end up passing the ball around and playing for a draw. So Puerto Rico had already finished their full group. They had already played both games, they were sitting mid-table, and obviously that means the second place team would go through. The third place team would be knocked out. Top of the table was Grenada on goal difference, and what it meant was that Barbados were at the bottom of the table and they needed to win by 2 goals or more. So it got to this stage, 83 minutes in, 7 minutes from full time, where Barbados were 2-1 up and they had to score another goal to be 2 goals ahead of them. So, would this be easier? Or would going into half an hour of extra time be easier, where you can score 1 goal that's actually worth 2 goals? In theory, if they scored an own goal, they would be drawing 2-2, which would mean they go straight to extra time, and that would mean they would only need 1 goal in half an hour to win them the game and to see them through on goal difference. So the situation they took was, of course, to score the own goal. And there's some weird video that I've seen of them just like kind of passing the ball around and then one of them just like whacks it into the net. 3 minutes from the end of the game, Grenada have to score in either net. See, if they score to win 3-2, it means they win and they're through with 6 points. But if they score an own goal and lose by 3 goals to 2, it means they're still not beaten on goal difference and they will still go through. It's the weirdest scenario that could have ever played out in football, and it did. Grenada are attacking both nets, and Barbados are desperately trying to defend each net. Because if any goal goes in, Barbados are screwed, they're out. And if any goal goes in, Grenada are through. And it ends up that no one scores in this final stages of play. It ends 2-2, and the even crazier thing, Barbados go and score the winning goal. They score the golden goal and they go through on goal difference. And do you want to know the even crazier, even more ironic thing? After all these shambles of weird rules in the qualifying that actually affected a few different groups, the final was between Martinique and Trinidad and Tobago, which were the only 2 teams not to be involved in the qualifying. Now subscribe if that is the craziest football story you've ever heard.